highlight. Of course, we have a feature for you on what some students are making out of the ongoing ASU strike. And Dr. Olunifesi Suraj will be joining us to talk about that afterwards. And for our performance this morning, Myro is our guy, and he will be bringing us some sweet music a little later on the show.
You know we love live music on this show.
Yes, indeed.
It's kind of good for your soul. Speaking of things that are good for you, Dr. Billy will be in the building, and he'll be talking to us about the implications of late night eating and snacking. I
know some people who are guilty.
Yeah, like you. We have loads of entertainment news for you, of course, coming your way. And, you know, there's so much in that particular package. The actress-singer Ashionye Raka will be joining us right here in the studio for an inspiring chat as well. It promises to be really exciting and so much fun.
Yes, indeed. But before we go full throttle this morning, Blessing Idahosa is on standby with the news update.
Hello and good morning. Let's check out news-making headlines across the country and beyond this morning. The Nigerian Army says suspected Boko Haram bicycle-riding terrorists were killed by mobile strike teams during an ambush along Fegi-Banki Junction Road in Borno State. The special military bike riders had been clearing the way for Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who was heading into the town for the inauguration of the federal government's emergency food intervention in the northeast. And according to Brigadier General Sani Kukasheka Usman, Director Army Public Relations, the troops neutralized a large number of the Boko Haram terrorists, while other terrorists sustained gunshot wounds. Another nationwide industrial action has begun, this time within the health sector. The National Association of Resident Doctors downed tolls yesterday in various hospitals after an 8-hour meeting. The decision to go on strike comes despite a meeting last week with Labour Minister Chris Ngige and Health Minister Professor Isaac Adewale, where governments was made to give offers so that they shelve the strike. The Doctors Association wants an immediate payments of salary shortfalls experienced between January and May this year. They're also asking the government to stop its plan to stall the promotion of resident doctors. In Kaduna State, Governor Nasir El-Rufai has applauded security agencies keeping the peace in southern Kaduna and the Kaduna-Abuja highway. El-Rufai played host to security chiefs in the state at the government's house in what he called a Salah lunch. He was particularly elated about the peaceful Eid al-Adha celebration, which he observed in the Benin Gwari axis of the state. And as Makurdi reels from the aftermath of torrential rains that have caused massive flooding, help is steadily coming to victims. The Nigerian Air Force has inaugurated a medical assistance program, which Air Force spokesman Air Commodore Olatukumbo Adesonya says is part of the command's corporate social responsibility and a desire to contribute to the needs of the flood victims. According to him, the program was inaugurated by Air Officer Commanding Tactical Air Command of the Nigerian Air Force. And Lagos State government has flagged off the reconstruction of the Oshodi International Airport Road with a pledge to complete the projects within the next 15 months. Speaking at the project's flagging off, the state's commissioner for waterfront infrastructure developments, Adebowale Akinsonya, said the commencement of the projects was in line with the commitment of the government to transform the entire axis, being the major gateway to the country's commercial nerve center. He pleaded with residents and commuters to cooperate with governments while the construction works last. And according to project designer Biodun Otunla, adequate feasibility studies were carried out, assuring that when completed, the Oshodi and International Airports corridor would be a marvel. And that's the news update for now. Let's bring you today's weather forecast.
Hey.
Time now for the sports update, and Mike has got some great news.
So, Yabi, we were right yesterday. Titi went a bit too far, but she could have been right because we actually missed a lot of chances.
Yeah.
But then we got the draw we spoke about. I was expecting it, by the way. All right.
Wow.
Okay, good morning and welcome. My name is Mike Messikeno and this is Sports Update. Cameroon fought back from a goal down to claim a 1-1 draw with Nigeria in a 2018 World Cup qualifier in Yaoundé yesterday night. After a 4-0 thrashing by the Super Eagles in the first leg, the stalemate provides at least some redemption for the indomitable Lions, although their hopes of reaching Russia 2018 are all but gone. The result means that the Super Eagles will have to wait until at least the next round of matches in October to confirm their place at the World Cup finals. Nigeria is at top of the table with 10 points and they sit 7 points clear of the struggling Cameroonians after 4 games in Group B. Zambia are in second place with 4 points and Algeria bottom of the table with just 1 point. And then in the Eurozone of the World Cup qualifying, Belgium became the first European team to qualify for the 2018 World Cup and the 6th overall with a 2-1 win over Greece. Goals from Jan Vertonghen and Romelu Lukaku were enough to send Belgium to Russia. Belgium dominated large parts of the game and opened the scoring in the 70th minute when Vertonghen smashed home a long-range effort. Zeka pulled one back for the host 3 minutes later. Romelu Lukaku then silenced the home crowd almost immediately with the sublime header to wrap up the tie. Belgium joined Brazil, Mexico, Iran, Japan and hosts Russia for next year's showpiece. In other games in the Eurozone, Sweden thrashed Belarus 4-0. Davi Pupa scored twice as the Netherlands kept their hopes of qualifying for next summer's World Cup finals alive with the win over Bulgaria. France and Luxembourg played out a surprise goalless draw in Toulouse, and Portugal helped their chances of qualifying directly from the group with a slim 1-0 win away to 10-man Hungary. And then, of course, quite some good news for us Lagosians. Following a 21-year break, continental action is set to return to the city of Lagos after MFM FC defeated Nasarawa United 2-0 in the Nigerian Professional Football League match day 37. 2 first-half goals by midfielders Stanley Okorom and Giscard Chato ensured MFM picked an automatic ticket to represent Nigeria at the 2018 CAF Champions League. After Okorom scored as early as the 13th minute, he provided the assist for Chato to seal victory in the 44th minute. Now, just last year, in their first season in the MPFL, MFM managed to survive relegation. Now, they have managed this history only in the 2nd year of playing in the top flight. The fans erupted into jubilation after the win when they received news Enugu Rangers had forced Eyimba of Aba to a 1-1 draw in Enugu. With 62 points in second place behind leaders Plateau United, who have 63 points after losing 1-0 to Wiki Tourists, the Olukoya boys have taken the Nigerian League title race to the final day. Elsewhere, Gombe United joined Remo Stars to become the 2nd club to be relegated from the Nigerian top flight after a 3-0 defeat at Rivers United. Remo Stars continued their poor outing this season as they extended their winners' run to 13 consecutive games after being thumped 3-0 at Katsina United. The biggest win of the round was recorded in Ijebu-Ode, where Sunshine Stars thrashed cup holders FC Ifeanyi 4-0. And then, of course, onto the Premiership, Zlatan Ibrahimovic has been included in Manchester United's squad for the Champions League group stage. The 35-year-old forward rejoined United in August, having been released at the end of last season, but still working his way back to full fitness after suffering a cruciate knee ligament injury in April. Although Mourinho doesn't see Zlatan partaking in the group stage of the competition, as he states that the Swede will be fully fit in the second half of the season. Meanwhile, Chelsea want away forward Diego Costa has been excluded from the team's Champions League squad. This comes as no surprise as he has made his intentions of leaving the club known to the public. Costa, who has refused to train with the squad, is still on exile and faces a fine of £50 million if he continues to be apart from the team. Costa wants to join Atletico Madrid, but the Spanish side cannot make any signing until the transfer window reopens in January. And then, for some interesting news, Lionel Messi could be set for a shocker Barcelona exit following the forward seriously considering his future. The 30-year-old is wanted by Manchester City and has grown frustrated after a failed transfer window in Catalonia. Barca sold Neymar to Paris Saint-Germain as his formidable partnership with Messi and Luis Suarez was torn apart. The Copa del Rey champions swiftly brought in Borussia Dortmund winger Ousmane Dembele to be his replacement, but they failed to lure a host of targets, including Felipe Coutinho, to La Liga in what was a disappointing summer for boss Ernesto Valverde. Messi is yet to sign a new deal with the Barca, and the club are worried their prized asset could move on. Okay, so let us know what you think. You can hit us up at TBC Connect. Do you think Messi would ever leave Barcelona? All right, I'll throw it first of all to these two wonderful guys here. What do you think?
Messi will never leave
He will
Barcelona.
never.
Really?
Titi, yes
sure?
or no? I tend to want
If
to.
the price is right now.
Hey,
If
she
the
got
price
it.
is right.
I like that. Okay,
And
that's
it's
Never
it.
say never.
That's
Yeah.
it. It's a wrap on Sports Update. The bomb and the dynamite. Take it away.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Mike.
Mike,
for that exciting sports update. And we're going straight to the papers. And I'm starting with this day. On the cover of this day, finally, Nigeria exits recession, reports 0.55% GDP growth in Q2. That's on the cover of this day, and that's good news there. Foreign exchange liquidity may have helped industries to grow. And then credit to private sector rises to 22.2 trillion naira. Nigeria loses $1 billion to illegal bunkering annually as oil companies patronize illicit market. And then patients stranded as doctors ground federal government hospitals. Ngige, strike in bad faith. Return to work, Adewale pleads. And then finally, Buhari pledges to reposition Nigeria for good. All that on the cover of this day this morning.
Glad to hear that we're finally out of recession. That's some good news right there. Moving towards The Nation now. The Nation newspaper headline says, shock as resident doctors begin strike over salaries. Return to work, minister pleads. Medical Council says, prevent illegality. There's so much in that particular article that needs to be addressed. Oil production, regarding oil production, Nigeria, Libya will know their fate soon. You can find the full story on pages 4 and 5 of The Nation. Concessionaire loses Lagos Trade Fair complex. That's one I'll probably be reading about a little later on. South Africans seize Nigerian's house on page 9. You can read up on that. CAC delists 38,000 firms delisted. You can get more info on page 8 on that one. Some news here, infrastructure-wise. Work begins on Oshodi Lagos Airport Road. There's also the story about the Super Eagles close to Russia's 2018 ticket. FIRS generates 2.11 trillion naira in 7 months, and there's quite a lot packed in The Nation this morning.
And then on the cover of the Vanguard, we have hospitals plan options as doctors begin strike. This is some serious news here. And then suspend your strike, federal government appeals. And then we have a story here, still on the cover of Vanguard, President Buhari speaking, my recovery, act of God. And then also, Clark takes APC to task on restructuring. And then U.S. threatens to bar Nigerian airlines. Still on the cover of Vanguard, we have 23 universities set admission cutoff mark at 120. That's from JAM. And then North Korea begging for war, says U.S. And then NNPC failed to remit 3.88 trillion naira by 2015. That's from an audit report. And then federal government approves privatization of AFAM power plants. Finally, police arrest 3 over murder of Gulda Ultimate Search winner. So all that on the cover of the Vanguard this morning.
Okay, so on the cover of The Punch, We have the headline, 120 billion naira bribe controversy. Don't ignore allegations against IGP. PDP tells federal government. Police invite ex-official over missiles retirement letter. Regarding sports, Eagles send Cameroon out of World Cup after Yaoundé draw. You can read up on that on page 45. Another 3.2 billion naira Benue local government fund diverted in 3 years, says federal government. Let me see. Arik Air here says no discussion with Ethiopian Airlines, says AMCON. Can read up on that on page 24. Hospitals grounded regarding the strike there. MDCN says doctors will repeat internship. I'm not sure about that angle, but it seems serious. Adeosun confirms 350 billion naira release for capital projects, and the federal government revokes Lagos Trade Fair complex concession. You can find all that in the Punch, and that's it on the headlines for this morning. And the headlines are proudly supported by Dettol. Be 100% sure.
It's time to get our muscles working, and Mike is on standby with Tony.
Yeah.
Jay. Okay, good morning, Nigeria. And if you just tune in, you are in for the best time of the show so far. Tony, calm down now.
Christy, egg meat. Fried one. Fried meat.
He wants to go in there today. Tony, how are you doing, first of all? Good morning.
Yes,
what are we doing today?
Today there's problem.
Wow. Problem for who?
Christy, Betty, Titi, Yashikiru, Alajas, Afis.
Okay, what's the problem for them?
Salah break holiday.
Wow.
Then even me.
Okay. So we're taking away what they took in during Salah.
No, it's not easy
to
out-train a bad diet.
Okay.
But we will try and reset the system.
All right, cool.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to what Tony has for us today. Tony,
Christy,
take it away.
I saw you there.
Well, take it away.
You know how we do. Wake up, Nigeria. Warm up is on. Today, we are going to be sitting down. So just try. Hip flexors will be opened a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, at home, try to do this 10 times. You get no time. So from here, you know what I enjoyed Salah, Abi? So that's a little bit. Let's see this. Just give me this 90 degrees and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do this 10 times. We are going into the main workout. I brought something for Titi, for Christy, for Yafis, for Alaji, Aziz. And we're going to be doing a hybrid movement. It's going to be 2 compact movements. For those advanced players, those advanced mommy, just try and do what? Squat and do an overhead press. Breathe in. Do an overhead press. In. An overhead press. My advanced players, just try. This is a hybrid movement. It's going to increase the way your body burns fat because we're going to be breaking down fat. Yes, I am back to my intermediate friends at home. Look for a little bit of, this is a resistance band. Look for a lighter one. You're still doing the same thing. You squat and just press. With the squeeze, you know I said something. We need more calories in the system. And make sure the body is what? The squeeze is very vital. And just try. Get more numbers in. If you're tired, shake a little bit. There's no competition with anybody than yourself. Now, for my mom is 60 years, 70, 80, you are still going to be taken care of. Well, probably I place you in the beginner's level. You know what you do for me? The squeeze is where the magic is. Get me that squeeze. Squeeze. You know, those way we watch those horror films, those days. Squeeze, get me the squat, and press a little bit. Try to do this move 10 times. From here, because we've been able to get a lot done, we're going to be getting into something now, because it's still a hybrid movement. So we are going to be doing a TBX. TBX, we are not doing any burpees today, so this is still even a little bit more comfortable for almost all the whole, you know, all the whole age group. We want to take care of a lot of people. It is called a fake jump. See what it looks like. No, give me a bad pose. This is a bad way of squatting. hinge backwards. Get me this hand here. You know, it's like a fake job. So if you try to do this very fast, you know what will happen? Your heart rate will be up, and that is exactly what we want to see. You see, the more compound movement you do, the more we get results. Why are you killing yourself? Then from here, get about 10, get another 10, get another 10, 3 good rounds. Then try to end it up with this. This is very magical, very, very magical. It's called a get up. A get up. And add a jump to it. It's called a get up because all the whole muscle group is used. I cannot jump. No problem. Roll to your side. And what? Go back there. Lie down the way you lie on your bed. Go. Just manage. Because blood flow is very key. You see, you don't get it done. I know where you live. I know where you live. Debbie, I know your house. Alaji, try. Make sure you get this done. Fat must go.
Woo.
Fat
All right.
must go.
I don't know if you have anything against Titi, but then there's someone with Titi also. And we're going to both of them. Her name is Tolu. So next time you take note, right? Okay, so Titi and Tolu, what do you guys have for us today in the kitchen?
Honestly, I'm actually freaking out already because Tony should not come to this kitchen. Because if he sees what we're making today, he's probably going to make us work out till we pass out. Thanks so much, Tony. Thanks, Mike. I'm back in the kitchen with Chef Tolu. And it's been a while, darling.
Yeah. How are you?
She's one of the tastier of our chefs. And she is the one that puts together tasty treats. And she's always excited to have a session in the kitchen with us. So are you going to tell us what we're doing this morning?
Yes, good morning. So we are making a moist chocolate cake with cream filling and we're garnishing it with biscuits.
Okay, so you see the reason why I said Tony should not hear this. Say it again, one more time.
We're making moist chocolate cake.
Moist chocolate
Yes, with cream
cake.
filling.
With cream
garnished
filling.
with biscuits.
Garnished with biscuits. All the things Tony says we should not eat.
Yeah.
I'm in the right department this morning.
So let me take you through the ingredients, yeah? So we're having flour. If you look into the bowl, we have flour, baking powder, baking soda. We have cocoa powder and brown sugar. You can use white sugar, but I just use brown sugar because I like the rusty taste it gives chocolate cake. So and we're in this pot. We have our dry ingredients. Okay. This is like the easiest. You know me, I'm a sucker for easy things. Okay. This is the easiest chocolate cake recipe you can ever find. Quotes me, I said it. All right. So in here we have the wet ingredients, which is the egg, the oil. We're not using butter because we need it, as I said, moist chocolate cake. I didn't say sponge. So this is oil and egg, and we have our milk over here.
Okay, milk, just milk, no sugar, nothing.
Nothing, just milk. Then at the end of mixing this, we're going to add in 1 cup of hot water, which hot water, it has to be hot, which will marry all the ingredients together. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to just go in now to mix this together so that's like some parts, like all the dry ingredients will integrate. One time I tried baking this without mixing it properly. It was bitter. Why? Because I didn't mix the baking soda properly. So it's concentrated on one side. Okay. My goodness.
So you're mixing it dry. One more time, the baking soda, the cocoa powder.
Yes,
brown
the flour,
sugar.
Brown sugar or white sugar, depending on you.
Okay, so the measurements are 1 cup each?
No. Okay. The flour is 2 cups.
Okay.
So ratio 2 cups of flour, that's 3/4 cups of cocoa powder. We don't want it to overpower it. And bear in mind that you have to use the processed, unsweetened cocoa powder, not the one that you can pour inside hot water and drink and say you're drinking hot chocolate. None of that.
Okay, so unsweetened cocoa powder.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Then 2 cups of sugar because of the cocoa powder is bitter. Okay. So you need 2 cups of sugar.
So 2 cups of sugar, are you talking about like this size of cup?
Oh, no, this is a measuring cup.
Okay, so this looks like the cover of like a flask somehow. It looks like, so you're talking about an official cup.
Yes, measuring cup.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So I'm just going to whisk this together. Can you help me grab the kettle for hot water? Because this, we're going to pour in our hot water shortly.
All right. Okay. It's not very hot, but is it?
It is.
It's okay?
Yes, it is very hot actually.
Okay.
So we need 1 cup of hot water. So this is so easy. All you need is just one pot. This is called the whisking method. What I'm doing is called the whisking method because it's all in one.
Okay.
We're not mixing in 2 different pots. Everything together. Then. There's no stages, nothing. Oh yes, there's one stage though.
Okay.
The last thing, the last thing you put is the hot water because we don't want to scramble then eggs. So you don't put the hot water while you're mixing. While the eggs is just being put in. You have to mix in, incorporate the eggs first before putting hot water. Then you see how runny you get.
All right, so the hot water goes into the mix.
Yeah.
Now it's beginning to look like chocolate drink somehow.
Can you smell that goodness?
I can actually. I'm trying to stay far away.
Yeah, so that we won't be punished. They'll just do sit-ups.
Okay, so this looks like it's not that hard.
No.
It's something that can, be done really quickly. So how quickly are we talking now?
Well, we've been doing this for what? Barely 2 minutes.
Okay.
Once I'm done mixing this, I'm pouring into my silicone mold and into the oven.
In the oven for how long?
In the oven for like, as I keep saying, depends on your oven. So from 20 minutes, start checking it. If your oven is very hot, yeah, like start checking it from 20 minutes. But if it's not that kind of oven, if it's not electrical,
okay, so now there's the gas oven and then there's the electrical oven.
one.
So what we're using here is an electric oven.
Yes, what we're using here is electrical one, and electrical one relatively bakes faster than gas oven. Because,
oh, really?
Yes, because it's the temperature is controlled one,
okay,
and there's this the fan blows distributes the heat evenly.
Okay.
If it was the gas oven, it's either most likely from underneath
or above,
or it could be for both, but. If it's the ones we have at home, the air, the fan won't be able to rotate the heat because it will turn off the burner, right?
Okay, very true.
Very true.
All right, so I know most people probably use gas ovens.
Yeah.
So the measurement on the knob
I would advise you to preheat your oven while you're mixing this. See, my oven is on. Okay. You preheat your oven to like Mark 4, like you turn it to the 4th mark. Then when you're about to put it into the oven, you then reduce it to 3.
All right then.
So right now, we're done mixing. See, this is all.
Okay,
look at
so
this.
right now, as it is now, if it cools down, is it going to solidify? Like, if I let it get cold?
It's going to thicken up quite all right.
Okay.
If you let it cool down, it's going to thicken up. But it will also affect the final texture of the cake. Okay. Because we're looking for a really moist cake that you would, eat with spoon. It's like a dessert. It's a dessert chocolate cake, basically.
Okay. So we have to go to a short break now. But as soon as you can, I really want to know the difference between a chocolate cake and brownies. You should tell me about that later on.
Yeah, when we come back.
Because it looks like the same type of mix. But let's go on a break right now, and we will be back with a feature that's really interesting. Students are doing quite a lot of things as the ASUU strike lingers. Stay close to find out more.